It is just one of those glamorous mornings this morning. Picture perfect, and thank you for joining me on yet another one of my little fishing adventures. Today we're doing a really fun one because we're going to be multi-species fishing out here on the saltwater, out in Western Port, chasing whatever will bite one of my lures, and we've got some really unique lures to use as well. So pretty excited for this one. Going to pedal over to our first spot of the morning and then try and knock off our first species of the day. It's one of my personal favorites as well, which I haven't chased in a while, so super keen. Now, what should we target first off this morning? I think I've got a little bit of an idea. We're going to try and catch one of my personal favorites, squid. So we've got this red squid jig here and also this white one. They're both little Rui jigs, very cheap but deadly squid lures. So we're going to rig those up and get into the morning of squid fishing. I've actually already got one rigged up here, so we're just going to drop that over the side. It's rigged up with a little chin weight, so it's going to sit close to the bottom as we want it. Just going to lower that down. That's perfect. That's just going to sit in the holder. And we'll rig up the other two. Clip that jig on as well. Bang, a little red one. So we're going to have three colours out actually. We've got the little orange one, which is already in the holder. The next sleeper is going to be a red one, so that's just going to sit in the holder as well. Cast that beside the kayak. And then the last jig we're going to get on is this white one. So this is the one which I'm going to be casting around and working myself. My absolute favourite colour, that full white deadly jig over the years, caught many squid. Now the plan of attack is just to try and get a squid as quickly as we can, and then we're going to move on to some other species with lures which I've never used. Got some really cool lures out with me today, so very excited to try them out and test them. But first of all, let's focus on a squid. So what I'm going to do is just sink that jig all the way down to the bottom in just over 3 meters, about 3.5 meters, and then slowly flick that back to the kayak. So work it along the bottom, hop it like a little bait fish or a prawn, and fingers crossed we'll find one of these Squidwards. Oh my goodness, first cast. Well, that didn't take long. The little favourite jig has just got a squid on the first cast. That is crazy. That was really ridiculous. First cast out there with the squid jig, and we've already got one. Maybe we get a few more casts in just to see if we can get a couple more squid, because I haven't had a feed of squid in a very long time. Look at him. Beautiful little squid. He's hooked very well. Oh, he's trying to bite me. No kidding, that just happened in seconds. First cast for myself of the morning, and we've got a beautiful little cephalopod. Look at that. Perfect little squid on that white jig as we just showed. And squid already. Absolute money. I'll flick that out because he definitely could have a mate. Get him out of his misery. First cast. That is a little bit ridiculous if you ask me. Straight away onto a squid. We'll get another cast out, see if he has a little mate. Oh, there's another one. Second cast. You're kidding me. He's definitely a lot smaller, but that is second cast. Yeah, he's a small one, but we'll take him. How's that? Fully loaded little squid on the sunrise. That is ridiculous. He's loaded to the brim. Oh, he just shot his ink on me. Bit inked up. 2 squid in 2 casts. That is slightly ridiculous. We'll get another cast out, see if we can go for a hat trick on the old Squidwards. Bit of an insane little start. Really good going. I thought it might have been a little bit more difficult to tick off a squid. Another one. You are kidding me. What is going on? 3 squid in 3 casts. This isn't a joke. I've just strolled out here and this is the 3rd squid in the 3rd cast. Keep in mind, they're not massive squid by any means, but I am very depleted on the squid front, so that is really good. Really good little fella, that one. Oh, and that goes to show you that these bigger jigs still get smashed by the small squid. That's a 3.5 roo, and it's still getting destroyed by small ones. Last cast. A bag full of goodies. So in here I actually have a bunch of Squid Treks vibes by Nomad. So these things are really cool lures. They're a realistic squid imitation. So they're a vibe and they look exactly like a squid. It just happens that in this area, there are a lot of really small squid. So this could be a good idea. I'm gonna find the smallest one I've got. So this one, look at that. That looks absolutely dynamite. 55 mil, tiny little squid vibe. And my plan is to throw that just on the sand patches right where the weed beds are. So in theory, there will be a lot of little squid in this area anyway. And if they see mine, hopefully they can't resist it. There's a lot of snook in this area. There is whiting, flathead, salmon, heaps of different species. So if we have a bit of luck, we should be able to entice a fish or two. I think it's going to be a good idea. It actually does have a squid smell to it as well. So it's a scented vibe, tiny little squid treks. And we're going to throw that over the very, very shallow sand flats. That's how shallow it is. My squid jig's getting stuck. It's definitely got a nice vibration. Let's see what we can do. I'm not sure if you guys can see, but some really small weed patches, but majority of it is sand. So hopefully we can find some whiting pushing right up here in the shallows. We'll sink it all the way down to the bottom and then just slowly hop it back along like a little squid. Yeah, I can feel the vibe. Sink it down and little vibes. This could be a really cool way to catch fish. This is something very different, something I've never done before, which is pretty exciting. I like doing different things. And this for me is very, very different, throwing a little squid lure right along the sand patches and weed beds. It's pretty cool. Oh, there we go. Yep, we got a fish. We've got a fish. Something picked it up for sure. A little vibe. It's a whiting. You're kidding me. Oh, got off. That was cool. That was the King George whiting on the little squid tracks. That is really, really cool. If we can get a couple more of those to hit, it'll be epic. Man, I've never had a whiting on a lure before. Last cast, apart from the squid, it's a little bit quiet. It is time to switch up the pace, big time. Just made our way out to the slightly deeper water and we've got rigged up a couple of bigger sizes. So this is the 65. Just gonna get this down besides the kayak and that's kind of gonna drift along with me. Not gonna be working that one, so we'll drop that down. So we're just gonna chuck that one in the holder. And we've also got a slightly bigger one tied on as well. So we've got the 75 in that white color yet again. Just gonna cast it out along the drop off in about 5 meters of water here, so fairly deep compared to where we were earlier. Cool if we can get a fish doing this. Oh, I just had a hit. Definitely had a hit, another hit. There we go. Oh, I dropped him. Oh, there we go. Something grabbed the, oh, got off. Oh, that was a good fish. That was a grouse hit. How was that? That would have been a good pinky or something, I reckon. He smacked that. Okay, a little bit of life. That was cool. Definitely a little bit of life. We got something on here. Something. It's a little snook. There we go, second species of the day. Tiny little snook. Let's get a look at him. So we've caught a squid and now we've caught a baby snook. That is about as small as these fellas get. He is an incy wincy one. That is not the same fish which grabbed this lure the first time. That was a really good fish. And I'm hoping that we can get one of whatever that was. Species number 2 of the morning. See you, buddy. Pretty cool little fella. The fish really seem to be liking this little one. Even when it's just static in the holder, it still caught fish. Try something different. I'm just gonna hop this along the bottom, slowly vibe it up and down. And if there's any predatory fish, hopefully they pick up one or the other. There we go. There we go. That's a good fish. That's a good fish. That's a bit better. Yes. Slowly vibing that along the bottom. We've hooked up to a very good fish by the feel of it. Hopefully we don't hook up that lure. This is a good little fish. It's got to be a pinky or something by the feel of it. Nice, man. That is awesome. Vibing out in the deep, and we've hooked up to our second species on the little, oh, what is that? What is that? Can see him all the way down there. Feels like a good pinky. It is. It's a very nice little pinky. How's that? Beautiful little fish. There we go, third species down. That's a pretty cool one. Let's get a look at him. This is pretty cool. This is like my first ever time really targeting Western Port's fish on lures, and that is a beautiful little pinky on the Squid Trex Vibe. We will take that any day. The sharp hooks have actually pinned him on the outside of the face, but it's a really nice little specimen. He's probably pushing 30 centimeters, so not a bad fish at all. We'll get that hook out. There he is, nice little fella. He's not too bad at all. We'll let him go. See you, buddy. Very, very cool, that fella. Nice little pinky, and there's definitely some chances for some bigger ones, I think. That's the second fish in very, very quick succession. We called that little snook, now the little pinky, and I'm just pedaling up to do yet another drift. I definitely think there's going to be more fish in this area. Really happy that we found a patch of fish. Other than the squid were very easy. Got a few squid in the first cast of the morning, but ever since then it's slowed down a little bit, and we had to work to try and find those pinkies, but we found them. Very simple technique. I can feel the lure bouncing on the bottom there, and I'm just giving it a slow lift, working it right along the bottom section of the water column. That's where I'm sounding up a lot of these fish. It's fully glassing out now. What a day. Picture perfect. Hoping there's still a little bit more fishing to do. Couple more fish to catch. There's definitely some down there. I'm looking at them on the sounder, but they're playing a little bit hard to get at the moment. Surely this is a thing, double the vibe, double the chance. Look at that right there. Wonder if they'll eat a vibe. I'm going to be chasing these things around all day. They're not really feeding hard. They're just eating, stopping, annoying me really. I'm just going to vibe until I see him again. They keep going down very, very quickly. Ooh. We got a fish on in the holder. There we go. In the holder, I was just about to get the drone up and take a look at the area where we're fishing, and the rod in the holder's just gone off with a good flatty. Cracking little flatty. Huh. That's pretty cool. That is an awesome little flathead. Apparently these are delicious. There he is. Oh, he's a good flathead. Yet another species for the day. Don't know if you guys know what this is, but this is a blue spot flathead. A delicious, delicious eating fish. And once again, on the little squid lure. Very happy with him. These things have some chunky fillets. He's going to come home, I reckon, that fella. Awesome flathead. Once again, that was just free sitting in the holder, and nice fish. Bit of multi-species fishing. Definitely paying off. Oh, it's on again. That was only just sitting below the surface. It's another little snook, not doing anything. And it's another snook. That is so weird. That was 1/3 of the way down the water column, probably sitting 2 meters below the kayak. That's another fish. See you, buddy. Okay, I reckon we get the drone up for a little bit of a look around, just have a scout. Might be able to see some salmon schools, or if not, we'll just be able to see how good of a day it actually is, because it's really, really nice. Let's take a look at the area. Pilot Nev reporting in. Well, straight away you can just see how calm it is. It is absolutely beautiful. Pretty much as good as a day can get. No wind at all. Take a look at myself. There I am there. Just floating around Western Port. This is where I am in Western Port. Oh, there's some ripples over there. I don't know if you can see, but those are ripples. That'll definitely be salmon or some sort of predatory fish. Only looks like a very small patch, but as you can see on the drone, I'm starting to make my way slowly back to land. I had a little bit more action on some of the spots where I was earlier, some of the reefy stuff. So pretty happy with how today went though, to be honest. Like, we tried a bunch of new stuff I've never really done before, through those little squids in the super shallow stuff, and actually hooked up to a whiting. So if you count that whiting, we caught 5 species. So that's going to be the end of this one. If you enjoyed, be sure to give it a like, comment some video suggestions down below, and thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.